What's up, friends? Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. My goodness. Wow, it is quite a Saturday morning. I am totally still waking up. I literally just got off the bed like, I don't know, let's call us about an hour ago. We've had a lot going on. Let me turn the music down. Just a touch. Just a touch. I'm super excited to be with y'all this morning. Yeah, let's bring that down. Just a touch. Yeah, it's been quite the Saturday. My goodness. How are y'all doing today? It's been quite the week. My God, we had a lot going on. God, it's just been busy. I think that's just the right way to say it. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I changed my setup. There we go. There we go. There we go. I changed my setup. My whole setup is just different. So, we're getting used to the new things, but I'm excited to be with y'all today. Let's do a clap and cheer one more time. Welcome, 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 welcome. There we go. Yeah, I changed my setup this week because I broke something, so we had to fix it. But we're here, we're live. It's Saturday morning, and I'm excited to be with y'all. How are folks doing? How was the week for folks? We've had a crazy busy week on my side. Like we had some stuff happening in the family. We had some stuff happening at work. Like I had a really short week at work, but it was a really busy week at work. My goodness. But I said, you know what? We had to wake up this morning. We had to get up and going. We had to get the stream live. Yeah. Yeah. How are folks? For those who don't know me, my name is Corey L. Weathers. I have the privilege of serving as one of the leaders for the Auth0 developer relations team. I live stream here on the weekends, really just to get a chance to connect with developers around the world. Folks have asked me like, hey, how come I don't go to as many events, or they don't see me out and about? I actually just got this question yesterday. Someone asked me when's the next time I was going to an event. I don't spend as much time at events. I really don't. I know there's a number of developer conferences happening, and I'm excited to see that that energy and that excitement and enthusiasm coming back. I don't get to as many events as I used to, and the reason why is just purely and simply, like my role has changed. I do a lot more things with our developer content than I do out and about, and so live streaming gives me a fantastic way to connect with you all, different developers around the community, who are doing some amazing and fantastic things. So if you are joining, welcome. I'm excited to have you, yeah? Yeah? My computer wants to restart, so this is crazy. I turned my computer on, I don't know, probably about 40 minutes ago. And now I did all the checks, to make sure that updates were good, to make sure that things were working. And legitimately, now I'm getting all the notifications. It's time to restart. The update has finished installing. So listen, if the stream goes down, it's not my fault. I did my part. It's not my fault. Yeah? Listen, if you are someone who's just joining the stream, we love to create a space for everyone to feel welcome, to be included. And so with that, I do make sure to just take a little time to acknowledge our friends. Welcome. Welcome. Oh yeah, it's good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen you here. Yeah, so we've got TBD Gamer. Welcome to the stream, TBD Gamer. Really good to see you. Marcus Voice Coder, I've missed you. It's good to see you in chat. We've got a number of folks who've been around. They've joined us at different times as I've streamed over the years. I promise you, if this is your first time, please don't be shy. Definitely jump into the chat and say hi. We do a lot of me just tinkering on stream here, but we try to make it as safe, as friendly, as inclusive. We try to make it a learning environment. We also just have a bit of fun. If you've joined me in the past couple of weeks, you will have seen that I have legitimately broken my own code many times over. I think TBD Gamer watched me. TBD Gamer watched me configuring a Visual Studio solution file and then breaking said Visual Studio solution file. So we're not experts. We're all learning together, and we're hopefully doing it all together. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna fix my setup. I changed a bunch of things, and I know that the audio is now coming through. But then I got this other microphone that's like doing weird things because I changed my camera as well. So I gotta fix that. If things sound crazy, don't hesitate to let me know, friends. Like I legitimately, I'm doing the best I can here. I tested this yesterday. I was like, yeah, we're good. I took the kids out to Applebee's. We actually had a fantastic time. I came back. I was like, yeah, everything's good. We're tested. I came live this morning. All of a sudden, everything broke. So if things sound crazy, don't hesitate to let me know, okay? let me catch up with chat real quick. Yeah, my Twitch profile icon. Okay, so I gotta fix. Okay, so you're not the first person to say that. It says, man, your Twitch profile icon's so gray. Very hard to figure out that you are live. So someone else said to me this week, they said, hey, why do you have the same picture everywhere? And why is that picture in black and white? And I was like, well, because I want to have the same picture everywhere so people at least know it's me. The only place where my picture is different on the internet is on LinkedIn. And so they were like, well, at least put it in color. This is the second time I've seen this. Put it in color. So we're going to fix that. We're going to fix that. TBD Gamer says, they just, oh no, TBD Gamer says, happy Saturday. Breaking things is fun. Yeah, we're going to break some things today. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what we're building. We have about, the kids are here. I promised them that for as long as they let me stream, I would let them play on their tablets. And then they realized that they could watch me on stream. So the kids are watching me right now. But I think the longer I stream, the more tablet time they get. So they probably want me to stream more. We're going to go maybe an hour and a half. We'll see. We'll see what happens today. So yeah. Marcus Voice Coder says, hot there in the UK. How hot is it? And y'all let me know where you're joining from if you feel comfortable to do so. I'm here in the East Coast, just outside of Philadelphia, and we had crazy storms yesterday. Crazy storms. Like, there was a tornado watch that came into effect yesterday at around, I don't know, sometime around 1 or 2 in the afternoon. We had a really bad storm overnight. It woke me up. I was up for a good portion of the night. I'm very sure I woke up around about 11:30 p.m. I did not go back to sleep until like 4 a.m. because between the storms, the winds, I heard something go down. I just knew the power was going to go out. Obviously, I have little ones here as well. So it was quite crazy last night. I hope folks are safe as well where they are. I did not realize that the UK was going through a bit of a stretch there. My God, 23 Celsius is hot. Hold on. Someone else told me that there were parts of Europe going through different storms as well. Because I know like there had been like different countries have had the different power outages and different countries have had different things happening. So I'm hoping that y'all are safe out there. I don't like to be hot. I'm going to be honest. I really don't like to be hot. I prefer to be cold because it's easier to warm up than it is to cool down. And I sweat. So if I start, like if I get really hot, next thing you know, I'm going to be sweating bullets looking like I'm having a heart attack or something. I don't like it. I really don't. So yeah, let me catch up with chat. Namikuro is here. Welcome to the stream, Namikuro. Good to see you. Good to see you. It says video studio configs are nightmares. Yeah, I'm going to show y'all what we've been working on and you'll understand a fair bit of why I did this the way that I did. And then you're probably going to be like, dude, you like went way too far. Slow it down. So we're going to have some fun with that today. I'm going to break a bunch of stuff. We'll see. TBD Gamer says, they're based out of New Jersey by the shore. Due for more storms later today. Really wanted to get a swim in. TBD Gamer, I'm actually trying to head to Atlantic City very soon. so I can get to the shore. It's Atlantic City is like, for those who don't know, it's like baby Las Vegas. Las Vegas is like the adult playground of the United States. I don't know how else to describe it. But with that being said, Atlantic City is like baby Las Vegas, right? And so I've gone out there, had a fantastic time in the past. I'm trying to get back out there, especially now that Memorial Day has passed. There are many folks will probably go and enjoy just being by the coast and, you know, all the things there. So we'll see if I make it back out there. It won't be this weekend. The kids have me busy this weekend, so it won't be this weekend. But yeah, let's see. It's the asked. It's great that I control the kids' playtime. Do I use any other ways? Yeah, we have a couple of things. Just so we're clear, right? Like I'm very conservative sometimes as a parent, and one of the ways in which I'm conservative is I don't believe that overexposure to screen time is a good thing. Now, we went to the doctor this week, and the doctor said the same thing. So you should have seen me in the doctor's office like, see what the doctor said? This means dad's not lying to you, right? So it was a really fun time. But we do a number of things. Like just after this, which is part of the reason why we're not going to stream for too long. We're going to go, we have a couple of errands to run. The kids have extracurriculars during the week as well. So it's actually really hard for them to get time to be on tablets. And then one thing that I enforce is no matter what, every day they owe me 30 minutes of reading. 30 minutes, you have to sit down and read a book. I don't care what book. You can't just reread old books, right? Like we're not just gonna sit down and read like Green Eggs and Ham. No, right? Like one of my kids, because I try not to identify them on stream, you know, just because protect their privacy. One of my kids is reading Demon Slayer right now, and so I'm reading it with them, and it's hilarious. We're actually like, we've just bought the whole series. I think there's 24 or 23 books. We've just got the 23rd book, and they're like, okay, good, time to start over. So now I'm reading it with them, which is really fun and exciting. Yeah. So we've got that going on. The other thing is I make them get out and do things with me. So for instance, tomorrow we have to cut the grass. And because we have to cut the grass, we're going to do it together. They don't know this yet unless they're watching. Sorry. But we have to cut the grass. So we will be doing that together tomorrow. I have a bunch of DIY projects I'm doing, and they start to get in with me as well. Like for instance, I have to repair the ceiling in my kitchen because it was leaking. Who knew? These things leak. So, you know, we got to fix that. I put a patch up, but now I got to like finish skim coating it and all the other things. Sometimes they'll help me. And so I say this to say, I just keep them busy. I keep them really busy so that way we're not always just sitting down wanting to be on a screen. Hopefully it works. Maybe when they get older, they'll come back and be like, that was 30 minutes, Dad. That was crazy. But we'll find out. Let me keep reading. Marcus says, centers that are indoors, by the way, on my car. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the heat over there in the UK, I've experienced that. It's not fun. Like, yeah. And my sister asked me last week if I was going back to London, because I usually go to London about once or twice a year for work. My sister asked me last week if I was going to London this year, and I said no. More than likely, I'm not. Just because we've had some changes at work, the way we gather and do some of the team meetings that we do, there isn't as much of a need for me to be there any longer. Though I did just get asked if I wanted to go to a meeting, and I said, well, the meeting happens to be at the same time that Off-Zero is hosting their Developer Day event. And I was like, I can't be in two places at once. Like, I'd prefer to be home, but I may be at Developer Day. And if I don't go to Developer Day, then they may want me to consider calling in for a call for what's happening there in London. So we'll see. Hey, as I say this, let me do something real quick to pay the bills. And I think those who've been with me for a while, you know, I don't stream for work, right? Like I stream, but my job is to manage our developer content team. So I don't have as much time to actually stream during the day, though that's changing. We're trying to fix that. Stay tuned. I won't say anything else. But let me share my screen real quick and do one quick plug so I can pay some bills, because this is how I get paid. If you have not seen this, Auth0 is doing a fantastic event in literally 2 weeks. Actually, the countdown says 17 days, 18 hours, 43 minutes, and 58 seconds, 57 seconds, and so on and so forth. That's right. We're hosting our own version of Developer Day. I need to clap and cheer for that. Yeah. So I'm very excited about this. Our team is putting on, every year we do this, we put on an event that is very much like, here is where Auth0 is going for developers. And this year, it's all things AI. You literally are seeing it. It's the future of identity and Gen AI applications, which is very interesting. Like, now that I've had to dig into this more, I'm learning a ton more about why solving this is crucial. It's so crucial. The reality is AI applications aren't going away. So we absolutely have to nail this. And there are things around this that like people don't think about. Like, for instance, I was talking to someone yesterday. I was in a group call yesterday. It was a community call. And we were talking about people's perceptions of AI and how for many folks who are like in this on a day-to-day basis, we've had very mixed experiences. But for the mass majority of folks, they just have not had these experiences. It's very different. And so as AI just continues, I don't think AI is going away. Be really clear. I think it's actually going to get better. I don't think it's great now, but I think it's getting closer to usable, okay? But as AI gets further and further along, we're going to need to figure out how to solve some of the critical problems so that people can trust what it is that AI is helping them to do. And so in this regard, I legitimately see a lot of potential. But there's also the question of, but how do you make sure that it's not going rogue? And so some of this has to do with things around identity, right? And this notion of, well, what does it mean for me to give it permission to do things? And what does it mean for it to limit how much it knows about me? And what does it mean for it to limit how much about me it shares with the world? And so as we talk about like the future of identity and Gen AI applications, this is where I see this going. I'm very excited. I'm very excited to see, well, to share a bit of what Auth0 has been doing around this. And I think, I'd be curious to get y'all's take. You let me know how you feel. I'm sure if our social media person was watching the stream, she'd be like, that's fantastic, Corey. Can we clip this and use this as a thing to help promote it? So stay tuned. Don't be surprised if you see this video pop up somewhere on the interwebs. But we've got that we're kicking off at 12 p.m. Eastern. So I think this event is running out of the West Coast. So it'll be about 9 a.m. Pacific time. But then we're going to tell a really clear story around children. So important. I'm literally confronting this right now at home, making sure that the apps that my kids are using are safe for them to use and having to have some actually really difficult conversations. So this is even more important. The human in the loop, right? Everyone keeps talking about human in the loop, but they don't exactly know what that means. Like people have different interpretations of what that means. And so I'm excited to see how we talk about this. We got a workshop coming, right? Where folks can build their own auth into a Gen AI assistant. I'm excited about that. And then we got a fun panel discussion lighting up with some amazing partners from different parts of the industry. So a quick day, a light day. We're not asking for too much. We're just asking for a little bit of your time to share a good bit of how we're approaching all things AI with and for developers. Yeah. Okay, so here's the deal. This is the RSVP link. I'm just going to drop that into chat. If you are so inclined, you're very welcome to go and register today. I'm going to highlight this thing on the, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh, we didn't put it on there. I'm just going to highlight, we're not going to spam you, right? Like, I can't tell you the amount of time I have to spend in meetings to make sure we're not going to spam you. So if you register for the event, just know, like, it's for the event. It's not for anything more than that, okay? If I told you how many conversations I have to have about this, you'd be like, oh my God, why is this so complicated? But yeah. All right, so that's Developer Day. I've paid some bills. I've spent 5 minutes doing that. Let's cheer and clap one more time. And now let's talk about the stream. Oh wait, let me catch up with chat. TBD Gamer saved. I built the off in my app around off zero. Might be worth keeping an eye on. Yeah, TBD Gamer, I'm working on something. Actually, I may bug you. I'm working on something that I think I'd like to include you on if you're interested. Look, I'm gonna send you a note after the stream, and we'll talk a little bit about it if that's okay. Marcus Voice Coder says, a game changer for voice, thinking about AI. It's a game changer for voice coding. So I don't have to do any typing at all now. This is it. I think the use cases for AI are so vast. And as it gets better, it's only going to impress us even more. That being said, as it gets better, it's also going to get more accurate. I think today, there are certain things it does really well. And then there's certain things where it's like, okay, we got to fix that. Or, okay, maybe we don't want it doing this. So I'm curious to see where it goes. The other thing I realized, and I said this yesterday in the call I was on or something, like, for the things that, like for instance, my team had a team offsite last week, and I needed help. Like I needed someone to just talk some ideas out with. Genius. Did a fantastic job. Like, look, here's the structure of my team. Here's the work that we do. Here are the strengths and weaknesses, some opportunities we have. I have 2 days and I want to do a retro. Give me a suggested approach. And it gave me 4 approaches. And I took one of them and we riffed back and forth. And then I came up with a proper agenda. And the teams told me, we love this. The team literally walked away with like, oh my God, it was a great offsite. Can we have one more day? I've never had that happen. Usually they're like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, we've done too much work. This time they're like, no, we needed more time. Great. Fantastic. So I think for the things that AI does well, it does really well. For the things it does not, my God. Okay. So now let's talk about the project we're going to build. And we're about 23 minutes past the hour, so let's get into the code. So I started streaming again in January with the expressed intent of, again, connecting with developers. And as all things AI has just continued to expand, I said, oh, well, let me find some different projects that I could work on. There's one project that I've been working on outside of the stream. I started it on stream. I've been tweaking it outside of the stream. I haven't had as much time because I'm also working on my website because I need to get my website deployed, which is gonna come, I think, sometime in like the next 2 days. Different discussion for a different day, but excited about that as well. That's coming. That's going to be hosted on GitHub and powered by Hugo. So really excited about that. But I had an idea that came up from spending time actually with my kids. My kids are learning. They're getting to the stage in math where they have to do fractions, geometry, the sorts of things that like you probably need to know but may not use on an everyday basis. Okay. And so I was like, oh, it'd be cool if we just built an app to just help them learn this. So I started with fractions. And the thing is, I want to use this as an opportunity for me to also stay up to date on the latest and greatest in .NET. So there's a number of things where you're probably like, dude, why are you doing this? And we're like over-engineering it. But the reason why is because it's helping me stay up to date on like what the latest features are that are available for .NET developers to use. I'm also writing some blog content about this that will land on my website as well as on a couple different channels. But I say this to say, we've been on a journey of building this fractions app. And over the past couple of weeks, I didn't stream last week because I was traveling. Over the past couple of weeks, it's been a mess. I think I can say that. I think some folks have been here, they've watched it, they've seen like we've broken projects. I did something crazy with Aspire. TBD Gamer actually gave me a really good idea. Shout out to TBD Gamer. Where's the air horn? Yeah, there goes the air horn. TBD Gamer gave me a really good idea for a way to take care of my database, but then I didn't finish fixing it. Like I didn't finish implementing the pattern. So it's just been a mess. So Today is our cleanup day. We're just gonna clean up a bunch of things and see what we can get working, okay? Now this Fractions app, it's built for the web, but it's intended to run on mobile devices. So there's a website component, and then there's a Maui. Actually, let me just share my screen. One day I'll draw a thing out that sort of diagrams this. But here's the thing. So there are like, let me see, 8 projects in here. Okay. The first project is, so because I'm using this to stay on latest and greatest in .NET, I have this running on something called .NET Aspire. For those who are not .NET developers, .NET Aspire is a really good orchestrator to enable you to have a truly distributed system set up, and I'm losing the word. It's a fantastic application that enables you to build your distributed system in code. And so legitimately, I can come in here and say within this, hey, I've got a database. Hey, I've got an API. I've got a web front end. And each of these are individual projects that then talk to particular technologies, such that if I run this and I host this, I can then see how all of the different pieces are connecting with each other, where things are going wrong. I can use GitHub Copilot to help me understand a fair bit of like why things are going wrong. It's actually really powerful. And I like this idea for something that is distributed, right? Where we're using, somewhat of an in-tier architecture in different ways, shapes, and forms. Yeah. Everything on here, each of the applications are running as their own containers as well. So it's not like one container can go down and it can come back up. It's really cool. And you can host your own containers, all these things, great stuff. But anyways, so we've got the app host and we got the service defaults specifically for those two. Okay. That's what those 2 projects do. Then, as you saw just now here, we have a database. And so this adds all things Postgres, because I've not built anything with Postgres. This is my first time actually doing anything with Postgres, so I'm learning along the way. And I've set up this database to specifically hold just all of my problem set and some of the user behavior. So you'll see we have a number of migrations, which I need to actually finish setting up because this doesn't work right now. And we have a migration service, which will go through and pretty much run all of the migrations for me and seed the database. I have to finish setting this up. This is the bit that I got from TBD Gamer. Shout out to TBD Gamer. I need to finish setting up this code because it's not exactly complete. So we're working on it. Then if I come back here, we have an API. And the point of the API is just for us. Again, it's a web application and I want a mobile application, but my kids use tablets, right? So I want something that reaches them where they are. And for some reason, and y'all let me know if I'm wrong, for some reason, running progressive web apps on iOS just seems like a no-no. And I still don't understand why that is. Am I wrong? Am I the only person who's getting this experience? It's just weird. Anyway, so we've got a Maui application, a Maui project that legitimately exists for this reason, right? It is to be our native application to run on the device. But the thing is, our Maui project is a little bit of Blazor hybrid. So if you look in here, you'll see some what looks like Razor code. And let me make this a little bigger, as my friend Layla Codes It would say. Shout out to Layla Codes It. But yeah, this is, it looks like HTML. It is HTML. This is actually Razor syntax. So I'm trying to reuse from the web project and the Maui project where it makes sense. And there's some stuff I'm doing to that effect. So we've got all of that. Here's our Maui project. Then we have the web project, and our web project is built with Blazor. And yes, I set this up to be WebAssembly. I wanted this to be something that's just quick, simple, and lightweight in the browser. I'm pretty sure at some point in here, I had something SQLite. I'm not sure why I did it. I can't remember. It's been ages. But yeah, so we're working on that. Now, you've heard me talk about all of these things. I didn't talk about the shared project. The shared project is where I want to put things that need to get reused across all the projects, right? So there is still this core thing that gets shared among all the projects, okay? Now, fantastic. We have all these pieces. Everything's sort of there. It kind of makes sense. Here's the question. Does it work? No. Yeah, I know. At one point it was working. At some point I broke some stuff. Where are we now? I have no idea because it's been actually a week or two, a week and a half since I touched this code. So here's what we're going to do today, okay? We're going to spend some time today trying to figure out where it is, and then prioritizing some specific tasks for us to get done. What we're going to do is just start it up and see what's broken. And based upon what's broken, and for those who've been with me for years, because we streamed for years here, I'm gonna pull out my favorite notepad, and we're just gonna start a new doc that just sort of has a list of things, and then eventually I'm gonna put those into dos inside of the code base. But I want to capture it in Notepad first, and the reason why is because this project is, I think y'all can see there's a number of this that's like they're all checked in, right? So this project is in source control. I have not open sourced it yet because I want to get it working before we open source it. So when we do that, I'm going to add a little bit. I'm going to take advantage of GitHub and use this as an opportunity for me to take advantage of GitHub tasks and issues, right? To help track some of this stuff. So that way we can get that out in the open, but I want to get it working first. So now Marcus Voice Coder asked a fantastic question. What fraction of it doesn't work? I have no idea. We're going to find out together. The last time I tried to run it, it was before, let me see, I was home, I was gone. It had to be like early last week, not this past week, but like last week. Cause I hit the road, I think last Monday. So it had to be like Saturday or Sunday actually, 2 weeks ago. So we're gonna find out together. This is what happens when you touch too much code, yeah? Okay, so now let me run this. And to run this, I need to run app host. And I'm just gonna hit run and let's just see what happens. It's building now in the background. Let's see. I'm also going to run, let me open up the output. And then let me see if I can make this a little bigger. I can't, that sucks. That defeats the purpose. Okay, let me take a look at the error list. Okay, so there's a bunch of messages. I'm not worried about that. Messages are easy things for us to go fix. And it's still building. So what I've learned in this is, okay, so there were build errors. No. Okay, so what I learned in this is, Maui projects take forever to build. I don't know why. Like, it's just, they take forever. God, Jesus. Let's go see what the errors say. Let's get rid of that. Well, wait, there are no errors. Let's try this again. Okay, let me see what failed. Yup, it was the Maui project that failed. This is weird. It's exactly the Maui project that failed, but nothing showed up in the error list. So let me come here. I'm just going to build just this project. And let's see what happens. And so in the bottom left corner, it says build succeeded. Don't trust that. That's just not true. Let's actually clean. Okay, then let me build this again. Okay, here we go. Now it's taking time. Oh, I should also mention, I wrote a fair bit of this code with GitHub Copilot, right? Like I set up most of sort of the structure of like what I wanted to talk to what. But then I asked Copilot to write the boilerplate code. And then I reviewed most of it, not all of it, but most of it, to make sure that the boilerplate was doing what I would expect. So this is why you see a bunch of these warnings coming up. But as you can see down here by this green bar, this is probably why it's still taking time. So we have to let it take time. While it does that, let me answer Marcus's question. Marcus asked if I've tried agent mode yet. I have. I've used agent mode to actually build my website, not this project. I have really strong opinions about agent mode. I have really strong opinions about, and they're not positive. I would also say that. Okay. Let me just say this real quick. So agent mode. For those who don't know, agent mode, you sort of give it a prompt, and then as you give it a prompt, it will try to assess based on the context that it has and the access to the code that it has, like what to go do. Okay. And in this regard, I find that agent mode is way more strongly opinionated than I'd like it to be. And so it will try to just go do things. Now they've put in ways for you to like verify, right? So that way it doesn't just take up a bunch of actions. If there's some things where like it's making substantial changes, you can go in and say yes or no, don't do that, right? But I really find that sometimes its opinion is just one that I don't agree with. So I spend some time sort of being like, what I'm learning is I prefer the ask mode as opposed to the agent mode. But someone told me, and Marcus just said the same in chat, that you can steer agent mode or Copilot specifically with markdown instructions. I've not tried that. I've not done that yet. So I'm actually really curious to try it, but I haven't. I've been only using it on my personal website. And the reason why is because it's built with a CMS that I didn't want to spend time completely trying to figure out. Like I understand enough to be dangerous, but I didn't want to figure out every single nook and cranny of how Hugo worked. And I love Hugo because it's really fast. And so I may try it with Hugo just to see how it goes. This is weird. So that project built by itself. I have no idea why this thing is not building. Let me say yes and see what happens. So the project's running. Uh-oh. Is Docker not running? Let me double check something. Docker may not be running on my machine. Yeah, it's the Maui project. I may unload that project for 2 seconds and Docker's not running. Okay, hold on. Let me get Docker running, because you do need Docker to run Aspire because it uses containers, right? So you need Docker. Okay, so this is here. Something's going on in the Maui project. I have no idea of what, but something is. And there we go. Okay, so this is the magic of Aspire, is my web application is running, my API is running, the database is running. I don't think the database is seeded, so I wouldn't trust the database, okay? But this is interesting. Let's go hit this URL and see what comes up. Oh my God, I can hear myself. My kids are actually still watching me. It's fascinating. I can hear myself on the television downstairs. Okay, so I did something. I broke something as well in the Blazor application, because look, this is all we have. We have no header. It's just a random component. So we got to fix that. So hold on. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me come here, pull that out, and then go there. Okay. And I don't, you know, I don't, I'm like a no muss, no fuss. There's things to fix. Let's make that bigger. Okay. Fix the Maui project because it won't run. And Visual Studio won't tell us why. Then fix the the UX on the Blazor project because there's nothing there. And then what else do we need to do? We need to make sure see, this is what happens. If I was using AI to just speak to this, it would just pick this up. Make sure that the database is properly seeded with some sample problems on startup. And then, and so those are the three things that at least we see right now. Okay, let me go back now. Now let's go check the API real quick. I don't think I can browse the API. I'm very sure I can't. Because I didn't set it up to do so. But let me go see. Problem sets. Yeah, I can just do a get on /problem sets. Let me try something. Postman, where you at? Okay, so Postman's failing me. I don't care about that. I did not. So I did update Postman, but I didn't run it before I started. I could just use an HTTP file. I may just do that and add it to the project actually. Actually, let's do that because I have an HTTP file in here. Hold on. I just remembered that I put one in here. Let me close Postman and let me go there, send request. Let's see what comes back. Okay, so that's the weather forecast. That's fine. Let me go check get fractions at.api host address / problem your problem sets accept. What? No, you lied. Get. Oh. Yeah, that lie. That's a lie. Oh, wait a minute. Yup. That actually was not a lie. That was accurate. 1 second, friends. I should not be left to my own devices sometimes, I swear. But these are the things that like, so I'm going to come back to chat real quick because I seen something in chat that I'd seen something in chat that I want to deal with. Error occurred while sending the request. What happened? What happened? Okay, wait, let me do HTTP. Oh, I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what happened. I need 2.7, not 2.6. So let's try this again. Save that. Okay, I have no idea why that happened. Okay, so these are the types of things that I do think AI is not helpful for. Meaning, not so much not helpful, but you as a developer, you want to have some expertise to sort of know how to navigate this. Let me hit chat real quick, and then I'm going to come back and talk about why, because it matters. TBD Gamer says, I'm being a grump when it comes to the agentic stuff. I hate the word agentic, by the way. I don't know if I've said this, but I really hate that word. No way am I having it code for me. I continue to use LLMs as an advanced search engine, and I'm happy with that. I think most seasoned developers, and when I say seasoned, I mean like folks who have actually written and shipped some code over a stretch of time, not just sort of new to this. I think they have a similar take on this. I think I'm generalizing, so I could be wrong. Miss the days of having a little girl. I totally agree with this. I'm enjoying my daughter still being young, even though we're going through some things, but I'm enjoying it. Marcus says, you only have one tab. Yeah, so I do have, no, Marcus, you missed it. I do have a notepad window that has many tabs, but I pulled this one out. And shout out to Microsoft for finally like adding features to Notepad, because I pulled this one out so that I could actually have just one, just one tab. So those who've been with us for some years, they'll know. I start new projects like nothing. I also open new tabs in Notepad like nothing. And so, yeah, here we go. We're going to stick to one tab. I promise. Okay, so now I'm going to come back to TBD Gamer's comment about agentic stuff. This is where I think, right? Like, so let me tell you what happened. I tried to test this API real quick. I have the API. I can see the API is deployed at this URL, right? So if I want to test it, I should send a request to this URL, right? And send a request to that URL means, okay, set that right there so that anytime I hit this, it'll automatically replace, right? Now, I have a weather forecast controller, right? I have a user progress controller. And this is boilerplate stuff. This is as the kids are, doing their projects or doing the problems, we should be able to save that progress. That's all this is, right? And then I have a problem sets controller that just goes and gets problems. That's it, right? So you would think that hitting, and I'm going to double check. I'm going to double check one more thing. It's not there. It's launch settings. Yeah. So this is usually where the URLs get set, right? But because I'm using Aspire, I should be using the URL that it gave me in the dashboard. So you would think that if I hit this URL /problem sets, everything would work. And sure enough, what did I get back from hitting that URL? Let's go back to the HTTP file. I got a 404 not found. That's weird. So let me try this one real quick. And that worked. So that just means I'm using the wrong URL. That's all that is. I gotta fix that on my side, but that's fine. Because the API is deployed there. So now I gotta fix the URLs on the APIs. Fix the URLs on the APIs. Okay. That's not a bad thing. These are good list of problems to fix. I told you I broke some stuff. Then what else did we need to do? Oh, let me double check one more thing. So we know we have to fix the database. We know we have to fix the web app. We know we have to fix the API. We know we have to fix the I want to take a look at this. Because the fact that the homepage is not rendering the layout is weird. And I'm very sure I didn't. Oh, maybe I did. I changed something. But the nav menu should still be there. So why is the nav menu not rendering? Because look, here in the web project, we have a layout folder, right? And the layout folder has a navigation menu and it has a main layout. And the navigation menu has, a button. It has, some links to hit. So the fact that it didn't render is interesting. Let me try this one more time. Let's go to resources. Let's go to web front end. Let's go there. We'll Control Shift I. Take a look at the console. And look at that. It's not getting back some CSS things. Let me make that bigger for y'all. Look, failed to load resource. Server responded with a 404 for the fractions.webstyles.css. So something's going on with the CSS where we need to fix that. TBD Gamer, this is all for you. I saw this little button. For those who can't see, it says Ask Copilot to explain this error. I saw this little button, I think like a week ago. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. So I hit it and I found that it does this. And I don't really like this. Not because it's not helpful, but because it points me in every direction. So it actually isn't practically helpful. I don't know if y'all have seen this. If y'all have, this is me now trying to figure out how do I use AI as a part of my workflow. And it's just not always helpful. It really is just not always helpful. So yeah, when it's helpful, it's great. When it's not, God, it's terrible. Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. TBD Gamer says, yeah, here's all the things that might be wrong. That's exactly what it does. It drives me mad. So when I saw this, I was like, okay, this doesn't really help. Actually, let me test this out. Let me see if this actually does help. Hold on. Let me stop. And then let's go back to the advice that it gave us. Wait, did that window close? Oh, it did. Oh, that sucks. It closed the window. Okay. Yeah. See, so I was going to see if that advice was actually helpful. And I don't think it was. But let me come to program.cs. Yeah, there's nothing weird in here. Okay. There's just a bunch of things to fix. So I think the CSS isn't set up to return correctly. Okay, there's one more thing I want to check before I'm going to attempt to do the API work. Because we have 8 minutes before the top of the hour. I want to take a break right at the top of the hour so I can check on the kids. And then we're going to try to go about 30 more minutes, take care of the APIs, check that in, and then we'll come back. We'll be back next week, by the way. So I don't think I'm taking any time off in June for y'all. I could be not telling the truth though. Like I'm trying to think about the June calendar. I can't. I'll be back next week. Let me not try to go any further than that because my calendar's a mess. Manage NuGet packages. Because I want to take a look at what needs to get updated. Okay, so Aspire has to get updated. Let me unpin that. Aspire has to get updated. Microsoft Core WebAssembly things have to get updated. Maui things have to get updated. HTTP things need to get updated. Oh, I even have a version that's deprecated. I got to fix that. Okay, and that's from Aspire. So there's a lot that has to get updated. So let's add this to the list. Update the NuGet packages. Now, if I were going to do this in a way that was very, surgical, I would go piecemeal, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm just going to go raw and just say, yeah, update all the things. In fact, let's just do that. Updates. Select all the packages. Update all the things. Watch us break it even more. Hey, question for those listening. How's the music volume? I can hear it in my ears, but then I turned it off. But I can see it coming through. I just can't tell if it's too loud. Oh, it's perfect. Okay, fantastic. Thank you. Yeah, see, so something worked. Okay. Okay, so we updated packages. Now let me see if this thing builds. Maybe that's why the Maui project wasn't working. Build started at 9:55. Does someone know the fastest way to make this font bigger? I have no idea. And I'm afraid to ask Copilot. Let me see if it's in the tools, in the preferences. Tools. Oh, okay, wait a minute. We're finally getting an error. Okay, we're getting there. We're finally getting an error. Okay. But that doesn't really tell me anything. And the build is still going. So let me let the build continue to go for a little bit. And while that does that, I'm going to queue up our BRB. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff that it's flagging from as warnings from SQLite. Because I have 4. Okay. So I think the build's finally finished. I have some stuff. I have SQLite in here for the mobile apps, specifically because I want it to have a local cache, like a local data store that can then sync back and forth. And look at this. This was 12 days ago. That's how I know. This is the last time I touched this code. It was 12 days ago. But there's a bunch of stuff that it's flagging, so we'll have to fix that. Okay, so let me add that to our list for fixing the database and fixing the Maui project. Fix the SQLite warnings. Okay. Well, we did this, so complete. I want to figure out why that Maui project's not building, but let me do a thing. So here's the deal. I shared this with y'all. The kids are here. I'm going to go and take a quick 5-minute break. I'm going to be right back, check on them, grab some water. Throat's getting a little scratchy. Then we'll come on back. We'll do one or two things. I'm going to try to tackle the API real quick just to fix the URLs. And then I want to try to tackle the Maui project just to make sure. And then we'll be right back. Yeah. So stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. I don't have a countdown on the BRB screen. I was thinking about adding one. We'll see. Anyways, I'll be right back, friends. Stay there. Hi, friends. We're back. I think that was 5 minutes. I have no idea if that was 5 minutes, but we're back. The kids are okay. Definitely taking advantage of the fact that I'm not paying attention to them, so that's fun. But we will have to wrap. We will have to wrap right at the halfway mark of the hour, just because we were talking about things to do, and my son is very much asking the question of, "Ooh, if I do this, can I get some snacks early?" So we gotta go pay attention to the kids. But anyways, happy to be with y'all. We were just getting started into the code. We were taking inventory of what needed to get fixed, and now that we've done that, we are going to hop into this. Let me try to fix the API stuff first, because I think that's going to be easier. And then we'll take a look at the Maui project and figure out why that's not building. And yeah, TBD Gamer, you know this fun. All the bargaining. We negotiate with them all the time, I tell you. Okay, so now let me take a look at this. First, I'm gonna do a commit. And that commit will be to just track the fact that we have made some changes for all things NuGet packages. Updated NuGet packages across the projects. And I'm okay, again, because of the fact that this isn't open sourced yet, I'm okay with like committing this as not tested, okay? Because it at least gives me a chunked change that we can then say, hey, in this change, here's all the stuff that we did. So yeah. Bare minimum. I just for those hanging out in Twitch, TBD Gamer said, I call my daughter bare minimum because that's what she does when she wants something. The bare minimum to get exactly what she wants. Janiska, it's good to see you. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. That's funny. Oh, that's funny. Okay. So let's go here and then go to our API and take a look at our controllers. So for those who have absolutely no idea of all things .NET, whenever we're building an API, it usually exists inside of controllers. .NET has the ability to do things in single files, but for stuff like this, I don't like doing that. So like I could put all of my API routes in here if I wanted to. I'm not going to. But what should happen is when we come here, this gives us the route that we should go. And that controller word should be everything that's in front of that word. So that looks good. As you see, I haven't touched this in 26 days. What's wrong here? Oh, that's why. It's behind the API. Okay, hold on. Is that the same thing here? Yeah, I don't want that. I'm okay with not having API there. And the reason why is because the API itself is deployed into its own container to literally just run as an API. There's nothing else hosted there. And there's no need for it to be that descriptive. So I'm okay with not having that there. So now if I run app host, the Maui project's going to break, but everything else should still build. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? Oh, wait, let me temporarily stop the Maui project so that way I get a clean build. So let me come to app host. Take that out. And then I shouldn't need to unload this. I'm gonna unload it temporarily. I'll put it back. I want to see if it'll give me a clean build without it though. Because without the clean build, then I'm gonna worry. Okay, that didn't do exactly as I expected it to. So let me clean this. And then let's actually do the build again. Build solution. Okay, it says build failed. Why? Warning, warning, warning. It's still the Maui project that's acting up. App host. That's weird. I have no idea how to interpret this. So let me show y'all what this says. Now we're going to go back to tabs. It says, app host had the reference to Maui. Let me remove it very temporarily, since we don't actually have it in there. Okay, let me try this again. I'll put it back before I check in. Oh, look at that. See, something's going on with that Maui project. I may end up going a different direction. Because this is like my first time doing Maui since 2020. It's been a long time, actually. Until I can get a real good sense there of what's happening, I think I'm just going to take it out. Oh, this is cool. Look, we did those updates to the NuGet packages, and now we have these interesting icons. I wonder what else came with these updates. Okay, that's good. API. Let's go get the URL. They said what? HTTP localhost 5160. So let's come here. Let's go there. Localhost 5160. And now if I hit send request, okay, that worked. And if I hit send request, good. Okay. Okay. Clap. We're making progress. We're making progress. This is exactly the error I would have expected to see. So let me give context on what you're looking at. Remember I told you that the database isn't properly seeded. So now it's trying to actually go and resolve the service for the database so that it can go and get data from the database to be able to give you problem sets. But because the database isn't properly seeded, that's not going to work. So we fixed the database, that's going to work. This is progress. I'm good with that. Okay, so what do I do? Two things. One, stage these changes because these changes can go without the other ones. I only made these changes to, to make sure that we could get this thing going. So now if I go here and I go to commit, I hate this. Why did this show up over there? I want it over here. No, wait. I don't want that. I only want that. Okay. Updates the URLs on the controllers, on the API controllers to remove the /API path. Okay, so let's commit that staged. And that's good. Now I'm not going to commit this yet because I don't want to keep the Maui project unloaded. So now I feel good about this. Let's come in here and let's reload that project. Load all projects. Here we go. And then let's come back in here. Let's add that project reference back. Okay. And now let's go dig into this thing. And so we should be able to undo all changes from there. Yes. Oh, that was weird. That shouldn't have. I hope y'all didn't hear that ping. I did. Y'all shouldn't have though. Okay, good. And then let me come to Maui and let's just build this. And let's just see what the nasty error is. And for this, I actually am going to use Copilot and see if Copilot can help me. While this is building, because Maui builds take 18 years, let me check chat. Chat said 9.2 introduced the icon. Oh, the icons that I saw in the dashboard. I saw that. Okay, 9.3 is a step further to make Aspire able to deploy your app. Okay, I saw a question on Reddit that said, how can you, somebody asked exactly this question. It was something like, I want to continue to use Aspire locally, but I'm not sure what happens for the services and provisions behind the scenes when you deploy. And I was like, oh, that's actually an interesting blog post, which is like you build all this stuff locally and it runs fantastically. How do you actually put it in a production environment? And what does that mean? What services does it spin up? If you need to move from, say, a container to a managed service, how do you do that? I think there's interesting blog content and or video content in there. So I saw that and I was curious. So yeah. Okay. Let me go see what this says. Launch settings does not contain a profile with the command name M6 package. To debug a packaged single project M6 solution, a profile with the command name M6 package in the launch settings is required. Okay, so the launch settings file is here. And we need a package name. For more information, go to this link. Okay, let's go to the link. I would not have done any of this. I don't even know why this isn't there, if we're being honest. In the Solution Explorer, double-click the project node to open a CS proj file. Okay, so if I open a CS proj file, we did that. Then it said, get rid of that. Then it said, add the following XML to the main property group. Enable M6 publish profile. So let me just see if some things are already there. Nope. And it has to go to the main property group. Can I just add it at the bottom? Or do I have to put it? I'm gonna add it up here. Let me put a comment in here that says adding to fix build error. And then let me put something in here around this. What was the build error? Go back to the build error. Okay. Then this thing said add this. So let me copy that. I think this is just so it can run on Windows. And I don't care about this running on Windows. When you're done, it should look similar to this. Oh, they put it under use when UI. Use when UI. Use when UI. Yeah, there is. This is frustrating. This is very frustrating. So, there's no use when UI. The output type is a win.exe. That's not what I want. What I want is that. So these instructions feel bad. Because check this. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to change this. See, if I change this, I feel like that's going to break things. So let's go ask Copilot. Hold on. Copilot, and let's just tell it exactly what we're doing. And for this, I actually use this Copilot, not GitHub Copilot. But you know what? Let me try GitHub Copilot. Let's go find out. Let's see how GitHub Copilot reacts. Oh, the Visual Studio's hanging. Okay, go do a new conversation. In my, use the active document. In my Maui project, I'm getting a build error that says I need to, what does it say? Why is this showing up? And how should I fix it? Go. Okay, let's see what Copilot says. Dun-na. Generating a response. This error appears because your Maui project is configured to build that, right, for Windows, but your launch setting doesn't configure. That's right. Add a profile similar to that if you already have a profile section. Okay, after saving. Okay, but what if I don't want to build it for Windows? Because I shouldn't have to. Okay, so I can edit the CS project file, add the following update or property group inside a property group, Windows package type none. This tells it to skip the check. Okay, so I can do one of two things. I can go into the launch settings and add this, or I can not. And notice how none of these instructions match what's in the documentation. So let's go try some things. Now, the last time we did this was nasty. So, just wish me luck. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to add it. And let's see what we get. And if for some reason it doesn't work, then we'll not. Wait, what? Yeah, I did that. I did the comma. And then I did that. And then let's take that out. Let's take that out. And then let's do that. And then let's save that. Okay, now let's come here. How it ended up missing is beyond me. I will tell you that. That's actually quite shocking. Output. Warning, warning, warning. Warning, warning, warning. All of this warning, warning, warning stuff. Okay, then it said a published profile was not found. That's a warning. So then let me take this error and let's go ask Copilot. It says it's done building. Did we get a successful build? No, it's still building. Okay. Now I'm getting the warning. Will this get built as a part of the build process? Let's see what it says. Well, that's good to know. Okay, so this is actually good. Let me tell y'all what this says. Okay, let me just read this back to y'all. And we have like 5 minutes. I think we're close. Okay, so it says, I asked the question, hey, I'm getting this warning about this publish file. The publish XML file is used when you go to publish your application, to actually get used in the world. So can I have this just done as a part of the build? Nope, it's not required as a part of a normal build. It's only used for when you publish the app. Fantastic. But the reason why it's showing up is because I copied that line, that one, from the docs. So then it says, this tells Bill to look for it. Great. Well, during the build, it's actually not used, but during the publish, it is used. And so if you try to publish it, it's going to fail, of course. So now it goes, if you don't need to publish for Windows, just comment the line out, which means I probably shouldn't have added it before anyway. So now we're going to comment the line out. See? The foolishness. The foolishness. The foolishness. Okay, good. So now let me come back to Solution Explorer. And let's just build this again. And let's make sure we're getting a clean build. That's all I care about. And I see a DLL. And I see a DLL. So I see the iOS DLL right there, right? Right there. Then I see the DLL right there for Windows. And then there goes the Android DLL. I could probably kill Android for now. Like the kids use iOS devices, so I could just build for iOS for now. But I think this means that we're gonna get a clean build. So yay for that. Let me clap and cheer. Where's my trumpet? Yeah. Yep. And we have one succeeded. Fantastic. Okay, let's do that one more time. See, I like days where we fix things. Okay, so now let me commit that to source control. And we did it like right on time, which is good. Adds a Windows publish profile to the Maui project for local development. And I'm only doing it for local development. I don't care about publishing to the Windows store on any of this. So when we run a .NET Publish to create the final files that would be used to package it up, I really will not care. So let's commit the staged. Okay, great. Fantastic. Now let's push everything. I don't think I have anything out there. Let me just do a quick pull. Yeah, I don't have anything out there. So let's go push everything. And great. Everything got pushed to main. I don't need a PR around this yet because it's just me in the project. This sounds like success today. Yes. Yes. So that's complete. This part is complete. And now we need to take this part out and go here, fix. If only I could spell, fix the SQLite warnings in the Maui project. Okay, so I feel good. I feel good. Some days I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Some days I'm like, okay, I think I know what I'm doing. Oh, we also did this. We also did this. Look at this. Give me more trumpets. Because we also did this. Look at this. So we got 3 things done today. And we have 3 things left to do. And in the priority, this is the first one. So we got to fix this first, which is to make sure the database is actually getting data, right? And then the second is we got to fix the UI. The warnings okay, I'm going to say this out loud. It's going to sound bad. I really don't care about the warnings. I mean, they're good. It's like good practice, but I really don't care about the warnings. Okay. But this makes me feel good. So let's go on ahead and enjoy this. Yeah. Let me now swap screens because we're going to come here. We've had a fantastic day. Yeah. I think it's actually been amazing. Yeah. Yeah. So here's the deal. We'll be back. I am really aiming to get my website up sometime this week. There are 3 things blocking me. One is I have to fix the GitHub action because I'm going to host it on GitHub. The second is I need to finish configuring the analytics things. I have that in there. So I want to finish getting that done. And then the third is I need to finish setting up one section of the site specifically for streams, because I have some of my old streams in there. So I'm very excited about that. But why am I talking about my website? Because by the end of this week, CoreyLWeathers.com should be live. Yeah. By the end of the week. That is the plan. We will do some blogging about, I have a couple of blogs already in the pipe, ready to go. I have some that I want to do around this experience, and so I'm really excited about that. But by the end of the week, that will be live. So I'm very excited about that. The other thing is, what? Oh God, what? There was one other thing I was going to say. This is how you know, like I'm getting to the point where as I have too much going on, my brain's like, yeah, just shut it down. It'll come back to you when it comes back to you. It's okay. But I forgot what I was going to say second. So let's hit the third thing, which is we're going to be back next week. So next week, I'll more than likely only go for an hour. I have a fun thing that I'm doing. I won't talk about it on stream. I don't have permission to, but I have a fun thing that I'm doing just after the stream next week, which will be a really lovely surprise and a nice time. So I'm very excited about that. We'll be live next week for about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. And then as we're continuing to do this and as we're continuing to learn in public, I'm going to just start talking about stuff more. So if you look down in the bottom right corner there, you'll see I've got the Blue Sky, I've got LinkedIn, I've got GitHub. I'm not going back to Twitter. Let me just, a couple of people asked me this week because they saw that I was liking posts on Twitter. I only keep a Twitter profile for my job. So you will see, like, if you go to Twitter, you'll see Corey L. Weathers. It's me. I have the same username, same handle everywhere. I'm not going back to Twitter, just so we're clear. I will probably make LinkedIn and Blue Sky my primary places to converse with developers, and Reddit, because I actually like some of the conversation I'm seeing in Reddit. So that being said, follow along in any of those channels. And listen, friends, it's just been an amazing day. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out with us. It's just been fantastic. Yeah. You've not heard me mention it at all today. We legitimately are streaming this as well on YouTube now. I'm not entirely trying to grow an audience on YouTube yet, but that will change around about the summertime. I am streaming on YouTube though to store my videos there because Twitch has changed some of their video storage policies and I just want to avoid it completely. So if you do see that we're live on Corey O. Weathers at YouTube, yes, that's by design. We are doing that for now. Yeah. In the meantime, I'll see y'all next week. Listen, 9 a.m. Eastern. Have a fantastic weekend. It is your boy, Corey L. Weathers saying peace, friends. I'm out of here. Laters.